Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms. These are Charter Moms Chats, and it is enrollment season. So we're helping families find out about some of the amazing, high-performing open enrollment public charter schools we have here in San Antonio. And today we're featuring KIPP Texas San Antonio Public Schools. And we just updated the enrollment guide blog post, and you'll see it at the top of the site at sachartermoms.com. It's also linked in the description of this video. But here with us to talk about KIPP Texas San Antonio, we have Guadalupe Diaz, who is the regional superintendent for KIPP Texas San Antonio. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to have a conversation about KIPP, not just the facts that are in the blog post.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you just for the platform of engaging with our families. That's such an important factor of the work that we do.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so for folks, I think KIPP is one of the best known charter school networks in the entire United States. But in case folks are not familiar with KIPP yet, can you explain what is the mission and vision of KIPP Public Schools?
Absolutely. So I want to start by just talking a little bit about KIPP. So KIPP is an open enrollment, tuition-free public charter. And in our network here in Texas, we have 57 schools with nearly 35,000 students servicing grades pre-kinder through 12th grade. We have 4 regions here in Texas. We have San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, and then our biggest region, which is in Houston. So it's a little bit about KIPP Texas and where we're at. The mission is something that is just so close and dear to my heart, and is really why I choose to be in this field and do the work that we do every single day. And it's to prepare our students with the skills and confidence that they need so that they can go out and pursue the paths that they choose, not the paths that our zip code might indicate that they should do, but the paths that they choose. So that for me is really, really important. It could be college, career, and definitely beyond, so that they can live their best lives as an adult. As a mom of 3 adult children, I want my adult children to have some really amazing adult lives, right? So I think that is such an important aspect of our mission. But our vision also is to make sure that every child grows up free to create the future that they want. So once again, I think you see this thing around freedom in choosing your path and your destiny, which is really important for our kids. So I'm really excited to be here. Our curriculum is our instructional program is really in mind to ensure that our kids have the fundamental skills in all our core subjects, so that when they leave us, they are prepared to do the things that their hearts desire to do. And we also have a really, really close attention to our children that might come to us with special circumstances or special needs or special disabilities. We have a large population of English or Spanish speaker children that come to us. They're called EB students, emergent bilingual students. A large population of that. So we are an open enrollment, and any child in the state of Texas is able to apply to come to our schools.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so I want to just echo like a few of the key points you made, that that KIPP is about giving kids choice and freedom so that they're prepared for college. They can choose whatever career that they're excited about, and they've had that background in the core subjects so that they are ready to go. They can tackle whatever they need to do. And what's so exciting about that is that KIPP has historically served students in neighborhoods and zip codes where people have had low expectations from people coming from those areas. And it's so important to change that, because there's so much potential among the students coming from those areas. And KIPP has really been a leader in creating opportunities for those kids, and like setting an example that other charter schools can follow as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We believe at KIPP, we believe that all of our students have the capacity to do it. All of them do. And it's up to us, the adults, to really engage and ensure that we get them to that destination. So that lives every single day in our mission and lives every single day in our vision. And really, honestly, it is the reason why I do this work and why I have joined this organization specifically, because the work that we do, it is so important for our students, so important for our communities, because then they come out and they impact our communities as well. So
Yeah.
for us, this work is really, really important. It's actually really critical.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so let's talk about the KIPP Texas San Antonio. And I just got something in the mail. So it's been almost 20 years since KIPP Aspire Middle School, right? It was the first
Yep.
KIPP campus in San Antonio.
Yep.
But now there's a lot more campuses, and there's in fact one that just opened in August, right?
Yes. Yes. So that will be, it's on Callaghan Road. It's not called our Callaghan campus. It's called our Somos Primary and Somos Collegiate Campus. So KIPP Texas KIPP Texas San Antonio currently has 7 schools, and we service close to about 4,000 students in grades pre-K through 12th grade. Not all the schools have pre-kinder, but our Somos Primary is our first school in San Antonio, so that services are pre-kinder 4-year-olds. And it is just lovely, amazing to see our little 4-year-olds come in every single day and just looking so sharp and ready to learn, and being 4-year-olds and taking their little naps. We saw some naps yesterday. I know that's not instructional programming, but they're just lovely to have at our school. They're so prepared and ready and desiring to learn. So this is why this mission of doing pre-K is so important for us here at KIPP San Antonio. But I'm currently at the Callaghan site, where we have our primary. Then we have our Somos Collegiate. Somos Collegiate has grades 6 through 12. And we have I'm going to say about 700 students that currently attend this particular site. When we are fully grown at this beautiful building, I'm looking at it through the windows here. When we are fully grown, we're going to have about 1,800 students that will be attending here, because our primary is still scaling. So currently we service pre-kinder, kinder, first, and second grade. So next year we'll add third grade and so on. But we're super excited to be here. It is a beautiful, beautiful building. Our students deserve to be in spaces that reflect just how beautiful they are, their minds are. For me, that's really important. So we're just so blessed to have this amazing building that we just opened in August. Probably like a week before school started, we were moving in, but that's the fun part, right? That's the fun part of what happens with construction. But it's a beautiful campus. Whenever you are desiring to come tour and visit, just give us a call so that we can show you this beautiful space that we've created for our little KIPPsters.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's well, and the campus, it's like folks driving on the highway. I guess if you're driving just west of downtown, driving northbound, you can see to your right like a huge campus. That campus, I've toured that one. It's on kind of on Ceballos.
Yes.
Like it's just south of Southtown, and like the sort of the arts district there. And right, and there's an elementary campus, a middle school campus, and the high school. Right, the KIPP U Prep High School is there. Yeah, that is a really amazing campus.
Yes. We also have our commerce site that has Camino, which is our 5th through 8th grade. And then we have Esperanza, which serves our kinder through 4th grade. And they're all in the same site at Commerce, off of Commerce. So that's our other schools there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know it's been a goal for KIPP Texas San Antonio to serve like the urban core and like, the west and northwest sides, right? That it's going into the areas where, historically students have not had the opportunity to go to a high performing school. And then KIPP is a, tuition-free public school and provides transportation. So it's removing those barriers to access for families.
Yes, we're super excited to have transportation. Not a lot of schools have transportation, so we are so fortunate to be able to provide that service to our families. The other thing that we also do, maybe most schools do this, I'm not sure, we also provide free breakfast and lunch for all of our little KIPPsters. So everybody eats here, and we get to bring them and take them back, which is just such a blessing to have.
Yeah, yeah. No, not all schools do that. So that's great to make sure that every kid is ready to learn.
Absolutely.
With a full stomach. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, so earlier we were talking about mission and vision, and you mentioned about how KIPP is so caring towards the students who are Spanish speakers at home, right? And they're emergent bilingual. And then also KIPP has a really strong special education department, making sure that the students with functional needs, that they're getting what they need. But like another really unique program about KIPP is the KIPP Forward, and making sure that students are able to persist through college, because that's such a challenge for students. Like maybe no one in their family has gone to college before, maybe no one from their family has graduated high school before, and so there's nobody in their family who's coaching them about like, oh, remember, you're going to need a deposit when you go to your dorm room, or like all those little things. And instead there's counselors, and there's specialists who are checking in on them, and there's a network of alumni, right? Because I mean, there's by now there's like grandbabies of KIPP, right? There's like KIPP babies, right, whose parents went to KIPP, and now their youngsters can go to KIPP. So yeah, so can you talk about like KIPP Forward, and helping students like achieve like these higher college graduation rates than what similarly situated students would be expected to accomplish?
Absolutely. So KIPP Forward is a program that is designed to help our little KIPPsters go to and through college, right? It's not just important to get them to the doors of a university or a college, but to finish and persist through the entire 3, 4, maybe even 5 years that it might take them to get there. So our KIPP Forward counselors work with our little KIPPsters starting in their junior year of high school, so that they can select the right classes to attend when they finish up their high school degree, and then what they pursue later. They also fill out FAFSA applications. I remember filling those out many moons ago, and how challenging it was having to do it by myself, right? So super challenging, but because it asks a lot of information that we don't know. People, juniors don't know, 18-year-olds don't know how to fill out those. So our counselors do such an exceptional job in ensuring that kids fill out their forms, send their forms, meet their deadlines, do their narratives, write out everything that they need to write out, do their scholarship forms. And it just really, it takes a whole team to prepare our students, so that when they leave us in their senior year, they know exactly where they're going. They know what day they're starting, they know what classes they're taking, right? So it's not a surprise, and kids are really aware and able to get to their destination. So after high school, then the advisors, not only after we do graduation, because we do graduation and we do a commitment ceremony, that's also super excited. We're so excited to have our first one live after a couple of years, because COVID had happened, and then we couldn't have a lot of live events. In our Somos collegiate school, high school actually had their first class that graduated, so we were able to see them and announce their university. So that was really exciting to have. That's part of the traditions that we do here, to really ensure that our families are really engaged and motivated and just proud of their children, that they're reaching this level that maybe perhaps they didn't, right? Because you're right, you mentioned something that is really important. A lot of our kids are first in their family to go to college. That is such a big deal. It is. And I don't think we talk enough about that they're first in their family, first generation to go to college. So our parents have such sense of pride. I have goosebumps just talking about it. Such sense of pride when they attend these events for us, and these events are so important for us, that it just creates a really impactful moment in their lives that they will always remember and carry with them. But nationally, KIPP partners also with lots of colleges and universities around the country to really provide ways to support these first generation students that don't know, and or they have never left home. All they know is their San Antonio home, right? And so they're moving out, and they're engaging with communities and cities or states that they might not be well known. But together with us and them, nearly 100 college partners that we have, we really aim to provide those supports that our kids need, so that they can persist and stay and just get an excellent education But I think for me, the most important is that they have a choice of where they're going. So they're not going to college X because they think that's the only place that they can go. They're going to the college of their choice. All ties back to what we were discussing earlier about our mission that really lives not only in the work we do in our classrooms, but also when our kiddos leave us, they're leaving us and they're attending a place that their hearts desire to attend, which is really beautiful thing for us to see through from beginning now pre-kinder, 4 years old here at Somos Primary, and then when they graduate as seniors in high school, being able to see them do their commitment ceremony and then crossing stage. Then our KIPP Forward team even pushes in harder to ensure that they persist and stay throughout their stay there at the university. So it's a powerful tool and a powerful connection that KIPP has that really does ensure that our students, specifically our minority students, students of color, Black, brown students, they get there and they finish. And we're just so proud of the work that this particular program does. It's super impactful for our communities and our schools.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned about getting goosebumps talking about first gen college students, and I'm thinking back about when I got to attend a commitment ceremony at the Frostbank Center, and I can't go to an event like that without crying because I'm feeling the energy off of like the parents. Like I'm sitting with the parents and I'm seeing the students come across and they have like banners that they can show of like where they're planning to go to college, and just like the room just erupts, with each announcement because people are just so proud. And yeah, no, it's like my eyes are getting wet, watery again because it's like it's because it's so universal. Like as a parent, like every parent can understand that feeling of like everybody, aunts and uncles, everybody, like you want to set your kids up to have even more opportunity than what we as older folks had. And it makes me so grateful for KIPP as an institution that thousands of kids have had doors open for them because of getting this like really solid grounding, and then like the specific problem solving that the counselors do through KIPP Forward.
Absolutely. Such an impactful part of the work that we do that really ties to our mission, right? So our mission is really to ensure that our kids are prepared to college, career, and beyond. So it doesn't matter. So KIPP Forward is not just, yes, we want to send them to college, but we're also connected with our students even after the fact, because we want to make sure that they land in the places that they are desiring to land. So that's really important work.
Yeah. So I want to touch more, if you could tell more about the inclusiveness. And I know we've been lucky to have a guest post from the special education team, things like inclusive sports with Special Olympics. But so can you give some examples about inclusivity at KIPP?
Yes, so KIPP Texas is really committed in providing this continuum of services for all of our students that have various levels of needs and disabilities. And we we ensure that our kids are in the least restrictive environment always, because we understand that when they leave us, remember our mission is college, career, and beyond, they're going to have to go out into the world and be exposed and and need to be ready with the skills that they are needing to have a successful life. So we collaborate with our families to really strengthen our programming while building and managing those relationships with families, with our teachers, with our communities as well, because some of our students go straight from our classrooms into like the workforce. So it's important for us to really partner up with that specific areas as well. But I think what is the most critical and the most impressive part that I've seen is that our special ed teachers really collaborate not only with the families, that is super important, but with general ed teachers, because that collaboration amongst those two partners is critical to the success of the students. What they receive, what accommodations are happening in the classroom, how are we going to accommodate the curriculum and or modify the curriculum if it requires that. So the collaboration that happens in the school settings, then we add the component of the school leader and or the assistant principal of instruction that is constantly coaching the teacher, the gen ed teacher, and the SPED teacher. And then we're going to add another layer of the school leader manager that is managing the school leader, that is managing the assistant principal, that is supporting the special ed and the general ed teacher, that then is impacting the parent. And then we're going to put in the RS and the deputy chief of academics that are part of that stacking of support. So when you see it from the top bottom, there's a lot of people involved in the life of one child, which is really important for us because every life that comes to our schools matters, right? So I think we do a really great job in just stacking the layers of support for the adults that are going to work with our children, and then the adults are going to work with parents, and then the school community with our parent community as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. You're talking about like, layers, right? It makes you sure that the model is being implemented faithfully. And I'm a parent of a special needs child. My son is on the autism spectrum, and so when you talk about the partnership between the gen ed teacher and the special education teacher, I'm nodding, like, yes, yes. That's because that partnership is so key, because the gen ed teacher is making sure that the student is getting that core content, and that's what's preparing them for a future full of choices, because it's so important to have high expectations, even for the kids who have 504s or IEPs.
Yes.
To believe in them and to set them up for success. But also the gen ed teachers, they need to be, have the humility to listen to the guidance from the special ed teachers about this is when it needs modification. So it's this balance of like, how do we put the most into these kids, but in an appropriate way of what they can handle, and then assuming that they're always changing and growing, and it's important to not don't overwhelm them, but also don't underestimate what their potential is.
Absolutely. That's a powerful phrase. Don't underestimate the potential, right? And I think sometimes our children with special needs, in special circumstances, people always underestimate their potential, and we never get them to that level that we know that they can achieve, because they can. So for us, it's really important to make sure that this stacking layers of support, specifically for the adults that help them, is really critical to make sure that we don't underestimate that potential.
Yeah, yeah. And special education has so much procedures and tracking and paperwork and stuff, but it all has to be done with heart, because it's the relationships with the students and the parents that make sure that everybody's buying in, and everybody's going to bring their best effort, right? Parents checking the homework folder, or, all those little steps. Yeah. 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 Good. Okay. Well, I hope that the families listening, are hearing this and thinking, maybe I should take a closer look, because I think it can be scary when, KIPP is known for such high academic standards, but like families should know that there's so much support and compassion as well. So
absolutely. And it not only for our children with special needs, for all of the children, there's such layers of support here that comes from the top, bottom, because we understand that when the adults in our schools get it right, and they're coached right, and they're given the right curriculum and right materials, and they have the things that they need, they're going to be exceptional for kids, right? So those layers of support happen, and that actually happens like behind the closed doors. Parents don't get to see all that stuff that happens, right? But if you can peek behind the curtain, you would see so many of the layers that actually occur, because we understand that all the children that come to our doors have to be ready when they leave us. They have to be ready to live their best lives. And we understand that some will go to college, some will go to career, some will go to military, some will do other things. Regardless of the fact, they all have to be ready.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've already shared some great stories that you talked about, like the college commitment ceremonies and the kind of like support that kids get after they graduate. But are there other stories you can share about? Oh, and you talked about like the pre-K 4 students, and that they have nap time, and I can just imagine that's got to be so cute. See, nap time.
Yeah. I wanted to share. Well, I don't go in to disturb their nap time. So I just want to be clear, right? I don't disturb nap time. I just look through the window because they're just so cute. So yes, last week, last week we had a tour. We had a campus tour here at our beautiful Somos campus, or Somos site. And we went to a kinder classroom. And so the kinder classroom was doing some of their SEL, social emotional learning that was happening. And they were doing some breathing techniques so they could self-regulate, right? So some breathing in, breathing out. So when they're feeling a certain way or they're not feeling their best self, they can self-regulate, which I thought appropriate is so appropriate because our kids need to learn some of the techniques. Even us as adults, we probably utilize the same techniques as adults to self-regulate, right? So then we come over to the collegiate side now, older kids, and we're doing a tour with our student ambassador. So one of our student ambassadors, and she was talking to the group that we were touring and saying that she was first in her family to go to college, right? To back to our mission. This is the work that we do. And it wasn't like even planned. She was just saying she was first in her family. And it had been challenging growing up and getting to this level because the families just go through a lot of things that happen in families. She was so excited because she had a list of colleges that she could go to, and she wasn't sure which one she was going to select. And I said, what a problem to have, right? That's the right problem to have a list of colleges that you've been accepted to, and you're trying to figure out like which one do I really want to attend. So I wanted to share that with you today and our audience today, just to show like the spectrum of like kinder to almost senior grade, and what happens in between. It is so important, but the end result is exactly that. We want kids to have a choice of what they want to do. So that was really powerful for me just to see and experience last week.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Like to overcome all the challenges and then to get to this stage where she's got her pick of multiple colleges that are eager to have her enroll and get a degree there. Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, I always like to close out and make sure families know how to get a hold of KIPP, how they can get more information. I don't mean to cut you off though. If you've got more stories to share, I love stories, but I always want to give folks like the practical information about, because like actually, so open enrollment has already started, right? It started October 1st, right?
Yes, you are correct. So if families want to learn more about KIPP, they can go to KIPP. They can go to KIPP Texas San Antonio, or apply. They can apply online at kipptexas.org, and it'll take us to our site. Also, we have they can submit their applications all the way up to February 26th of 2024. Because we're going to use those applications to then run our lottery, which will be on March 4th of 2024. So it feels like a long time from now, but it's going to go so fast that it'll be here before you know it. If families have any questions, they're free to call our regional recruitment representative at 210-880-8080. Or they can go and apply San Antonio at kipptexas.org, and they can send a message that way.
Okay, good. And this stuff is okay. So they can go to the website. Also, like our blog post has information and links and stuff about how to apply, how to enroll. I also noticed on the website there's actually a way to text, right? So they text like apply SATX 24-25 to 210-840-1793. They can communicate by text, which is great because like I hate voicemail. So
Yes.
So texting is even better. So that's great. And we're doing this interview in English, but I know KIPP does a great job of providing access to Spanish-speaking families. So
yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Let's see. Well, I'll just recap. So open enrollment already started on October 1st. The time to get applications in is before February 26, 2024. And then those applications will be included in the lottery March 4th, 2024. So anybody applying after that might get added to a waiting list, might get an offer before school starts, maybe not. But the best chance is to apply before the lottery.
Yes.
And and families can, you talked about like, doing the school tour and like, getting to see a campus. I think it's great when families can see the difference, see how happy the students are. Like it's not, I think people sometimes imagine that it's going to be super strict all the time, but the kids really have a lot of fun at KIPP. I know when I've been able to visit a KIPP campus like this, especially like the middle schoolers and high schoolers are so expressive about oh, I love our Mexican American Studies class, or we're doing this service project, or I mean, they're always just full of energy.
Yes, absolutely. If parents are interested in having a tour, if they can call the 210 number that I shared earlier and just request that, and one of our recruiters can connect them with our schools and connect them with our team that does tours. We're doing tours, I believe, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the mornings. So they can just sign up to do a campus tour, and then we can take care of that.
Yeah, and also KIPP is participating in all of our School Discovery Day events, and we've got one coming up this Saturday, but there's 5 events total. So anyone go to shchartermoms.com and look for School Discovery Days, and you can meet with KIPP representatives at School Discovery Days.
Nice. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Well, this has been it's been like emotional, like talking about the college commitment ceremonies and like talking about special education. I mean, it touched some things really close to my heart, and but I really appreciate how you were so clear about the mission and vision, and then connecting that up to like real actions that the big KIPPsters are doing to make sure that the little KIPPsters have as much choice and freedom as possible as they grow up.
Absolutely. I want to thank you and your audience for just having me. Give us a call us up if you have any questions regarding or want any other information. But I'm just so grateful that you just provided a little bit of the opportunity so that I could talk a little bit about KIPP, our beautiful 7 schools that we have here in San Antonio. If families are interested, just call us up so that we can connect and support.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye.